Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video at CES 2018. Create an awesome website or an online store using their all-in-one platform today. Go to squarespace.com/LTT and get started. Speaking of get started and all-in-one, we are with the Zotac Magnus. This is their new version. It doesn't have a name specifically yet, but it is known for coming with an 8th gen processor. That means 6 cores at up to 4.6 gigahertz stock, which is awesome. And it has a 1080 mini inside as well, so no compromises in terms of performance. Now in terms of memory, you have 2 DDR4 slots for up to 32 gigs of RAM, 1 M.2 slot for a drive, and 1 2.5-inch slot for another drive if you want that as well, alongside an Optane memory slot, which you can all fill yourself once you get the bare bones kit. Now the Magnus chassis, if you've seen it before, is probably familiar. They didn't recreate the wheel here. But on the front, in terms of I/O, you have 1 large illuminated power button, an SD card slot, 1 USB 3.1 Type A port, and 1 USB 3.1 Type C port, along with headphone and microphone jacks. On the back, you have 4 USB 3.0 ports, 2 Ethernet jacks, which is really cool, 1 power in for the external power brick, and a Kensington lock, along with your GPU outputs, which is 3 display ports, 1 HDMI, and 1 DVI. Pretty cool to see a high-performance 6-core 8th gen Intel processor running at 4.6 freaking gigahertz and a 1080 in a little box that's similar to the size of some people's external GPU boxes. That is pretty sweet. But moving on from there, if you're not that into gaming or need a small form factor PC for workstation use, they now have you covered. This is, I believe, the world's first mini PC with quadros built in. So we have the P1000, P3000, and P5000. Their closures here are not final features, so some of these aren't exactly how they're going to look in the end. But they scale up. Each one, the P1000 has an i5-7300U, the P3000 has an i5-7500T, and the P5000 has an i5-7500T. And then their quadros go up from there as well. But that part is pretty straightforward because the namesake for the Workstation Mini goes along with its Quadro model. So the first one, the P1000, has a Quadro P1000 with 4 gigabytes of GDDR5. The next one, the P3000, has a Quadro P3000 with 6 gigabytes of GDDR5. And the P5000 has a Quadro P5000 with 16 gigabytes of GDDR5 on chip. That's crazy. In terms of storage, you have 1 M.2 drive slot, 1 2.5-inch drive slot, and 2 slots for up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video at CES 2018. Get a beautiful website with awesome templates or an online store. You have 24/7 live chat and email support if you have any trouble whatsoever. I find this really great for setting up websites for other people so that they can just have it all handled and taken care of. It looks great on whatever device you view it on, even some of the crazy devices that we've seen here at Zotac today. It's all nicely handled for you. If you want to check it out, go to squarespace.com/LTT and get 10% off your first purchase. I almost said thanks for subscribing. If you did, thank you for doing that. Thanks for watching the video, though. That's what I actually meant. If you liked it, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. If you want to see all the rest of our CES content, do that thing that I already thanked you for, which was subscribing, and I'll see you next time.